Yes, welcome back from graduation for those who graduated from Makerere University and also those who graduated from Makerere University Business School and also our brothers who graduated from Gulu University. We saw about 3 PhDs coming for that. That was amazing. And this is the Campus Magazine. And my name is Menyata Ronald. I am proud to have you in this special edition of Mubs Decides 2024. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handle. That's the Campus Magazine on YouTube and everywhere. The Campus Magazine and the fantastic. Now joining me on set, I am so delighted because when we talk about Mubs, we talk about politics. We know only basically 2 colors, green color and of course the red color. Then other colors, of course, they fall in line afterwards. I'm not going to talk about them, but joining me on set is one of the candidates who is contesting to be the next guild president of Makerere University Business School under the umbrella that I'm yet to find out from him. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I am good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon too. Your name first.
Well, thank you so much. I'm called Steward Chopre of Balunywua. I'm a student of Bachelor's Human Resource Year 2. I'm a GRC currently and a Presidential Guild aspirant under National Unity Platform, NUP.
So I guess that explains the color, of course, the red and everything. You're very smart, by the way.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, now let's go deep into this. What motivated you, first of all, to become a guild president?
Actually, I'm not yet a guild president, though incoming. The hope is there. We have the hope. Yes. To begin with, my leadership skills and my leadership career, that stretched way back in primary. I held a timekeeping post. I was in my O-level once assistant head boy. In A-level, I was UNSA speaker at Ring ESS Goli. I also held a post in the church, YCS chairperson. Upon coming to campus, I was also elected as the Secretary General, YCS St. Charles Catholic Community Luanga, Mubs here. Serving up to now, the Secretary General. And I also serve as the GRC. In my first semester, I was elected in a very tight election that I won with the margin of 4 votes. I was
4 votes, so that means I was also hoping for a marginal win in this one.
The margin has to be kind of bigger. We have to extend the margin this time around. Yes, following on what's on ground and what you have laid, the structures you have laid on ground, the strategies. I believe we have done our best and we are still doing more. We have to put in more efforts to make sure we have the win with us. Well, I'm still a GRC for the 2nd time in office. I went unopposed in the recently concluded guild election. I'm a GRC of Human Resource Management here to currently, though about to resign.
Though about to resign, we are yet to see that later when it comes through. But you see, talking about Mubs, we've seen history dictates that majority of the girl candidates have been coming from the green camp, except for some few instances where we had then previously FDC, and it's like a dominance for the green camp. I'm talking about UYD. What are some of the strategies you're putting in place to rewrite this history?
Well, it all depends on the strategies a particular political party lays on ground to ensure they win the election. Well, we have been doing massive and thorough mobilization of students, the grassroots work we are doing, the database, to hint on a few. We are mobilizing students on ground. We are bringing them on board that this is the fundamental interest for the fundamental students. This is the base that will ensure the sustainability and the continuity of the guild fundamental leadership at Mubs. And of course, besides mobilization, we are putting in place structures like class representatives. We have our GRCs, most of these courses. We have our agents, most of these courses, that are ensuring day-to-day feedback to the main camp that are giving us. And so we're in touch. We're engaging the students in very many projects, like the recently concluded Chopre football tournament project that we held at the Mubs Arena, in which Human Resource Year 1 emerged as the winner. And leisure and hospitality management, we are number 2nd. So we are trying to do very many projects in an attempt to have our roots firm to win the election.
talking about very many projects. I know in most cases we've seen girl presidents, they come through, they promise a lot for students. There was time actually we had a conversation with one of the contestants, and he was trying to tell us that he intends to put Wi-Fi almost every part of Mubs so that students can actually access classes and everything in place. What are your major focus or maybe manifesto in this one, the major ones?
Well, thank you so much. It's not a manifesto launch, but to hint on a few, someone shouldn't deceive you that we don't have Wi-Fi at Mubs. We do have Wi-Fi at Mubs.
Okay.
We have at main building, we have at new building, we have at DH, we have at ADB. But these Wi-Fi, they're inactive. They need to be facilitated. It's because of poor management and poor guild leadership that we have at Mubs right now.
But you are a GRC.
I'm a GRC. I have a limit.
Okay.
It's stipulated in the guild constitution amended 2023. I have a limit. I don't go beyond my limit. Yes, so we have Wi-Fi at Mubs, Wi-Fi hotspots, but they need to be facilitated. They need to be active for students to be accessible. For them to be accessible to the student fraternity. And of course, we have a lot of ground, like the course leaders concerned. These people are really backward in terms of motivation. They're suffering a lot. And these people get a lot of money in the guild government, but the course leaders, they're down to earth, they're suffering. They get 50,000 Ugandan shillings every semester, and the money is given at the end of the semester.
So what do you expect to do of that?
I expect to increase their...
You're giving them money, salary?
No, for the course leaders, at least some margin to be increased to motivate these people. These people call lecturers, these people buy data, these people help us to coordinate classes. They do a lot of donkey work. At the end of the day, they end up using more of their money. So they lack that motivation part of it. So they need to be motivated for them to be able to deliver effectively. Yes.
Okay. You're still watching the Campus magazine. Remember, we always move to your different campuses to write stories that are being written by young people, those who are coming in terms of politics, those who are coming in terms of entrepreneurship, young businesses and everything. Don't always forget to follow us at the Campus magazine on all our social media handles and also YouTube. But let me bring you into this conversation. Of late, we've seen people endorsing you, including some lecturers in this. We've seen you've been talking to some of the external politicians, like the mayor of, I think, Nakawa. What do you think? To what extent does campus politics influence the decision or the general politics in the country?
Well, the moon sets to give way for sunrise to set a brighter day. It does to a greater extent, although it does not influence so much, but to a greater extent it does, because if you're endorsed by a senior lecturer who is a doctor here at Mubs, of course students will have that impression. Okay? You're endorsed by Mayor of Nakawa, you're endorsed by Speaker of Nakawa and the rest of other politicians outside. So there is a way to influence this other inner politics of Mubs. Though campus politics is quite different from the national politics, but it does, and the students, it impacts a lot in the students' fraternity to believe in such an individual who is coming in for guild presidency with all his competence and all the energy that they have with the entire team.
Okay, so far as we come to a conclusion of this, I know that...
Well, I had not finished my points that I hope to do for the Mubs students.
I thought you were only doing Wi-Fi and maybe a GRC kind of...
not really.
Okay.
We have a lot of challenges on ground. It has come to our notice that Mubs significant challenges are being ignored. There has been an insight of the continuous false menu of broken promises by the students' fraternity. And so, we have the year 3s. We have to provide, in the recent days, there used to be what we call a recess or remedial tests. It might not be fully a recess, that maybe if I happen to get a retake in year 3, I have to wait for 1 full year to come and do the same paper. Therefore, I will miss graduation with my fellow colleagues. Why can't I be given a remedial test so that by the time I finish in May, January I'm graduating, I'm given something like in sort of remedial, I clear my retake and I graduate with my fellow colleagues. I don't see any justification as to why I should go 1 year, also, and come back to do the same paper. Chances are high I might fail. No one wishes to get a retake. Getting a retake doesn't mean you are weak in mind.
So what do you intend to do in such a situation where maybe...
I intend to negotiate with the administration to put in place that remedial test. His Excellency Bruno Kamoga, the 25th Guild President, tried it out and it was done. It all depends on the good relationship you create with the administration. This Guild government had some distant relationship with the administration. That's why most of the activities are not being done in place. You cannot tell me the acting principal will be willing to work with the Guild government who once wanted to strike for a new principal to be in place. So it depends on the good relationship, the harmony you have with the administration. Therefore, I intend to negotiate with the administration to bring the remedial tests so that these year threes they graduate at once rather than waiting for other colleagues from outside. Well, in addition, we have hostel-free, persistent hostel-free increment. Well, we do believe that hostel, they are private business entities that operate on its own. But trust me, students are the greatest stakeholders of this hostel. Without students, this hostel cannot be in place. They will be rendered useless. Therefore, me and my government, we shall negotiate, we shall put in place a negotiation policy, a full policy. It becomes a policy at the university. We sit on board, on a round table with these hostel custodians and negotiate amicably how best we can solve this, because we have struggling parents. These hostel owners, most of them don't allow students to report to hostel without full payment. A student has to pay tuition as well. A student has to pay hostel fee, and they are persistently increasing the fee, the hostel fee. Therefore, if you bring them on board, I believe they can pay attention to our concern and try to address them as well for the betterment of the student fraternity. Yes, we also have challenges of missing marks around. That has affected very many students. They have been getting retakes, not because they're weak, but because of missing marks and some quite challenges on ground. So these missing marks, we can work together with the head of faculties. We have 10 faculties at Mubs. We can work together with the head of faculties to ensure a smooth, streamlined flow of information and a well-systemized project, a well-systemized information to be put in place in connection with the course leaders, the GRCs, to channel that communication line to work effectively for the betterment of the students' fraternity.
We are yet to find out whether all those promises are going to be fulfilled. Of course, that will be after the election that is going to take place here. We shall keep you posted. But also, as we conclude, we've seen people, guild presidents, they come, at least some of them leave tangible things in the company. If you see the company screen, some of them put actually the seats, some of them put structures, some of them zebra crossing, and what is that first tangible thing you want to put in place the moment you come into power?
Well, our slogan for this campaign, we are focusing on the restoration of the students' values.
Okay.
Well, they've been putting in place the tents, the rest of the seats labeled in their name.
And you've been using them?
We have been using them, the students' fraternity, but it's for the guild. It's the guild money, not their own money. Museveni, when constructs a road, does not put Museveni's road. It's a national road, not his money, taxpayers' money. Therefore, I don't see any reason they will be labeled, maybe someone's name, to be labeled on a project that he or she has done. Well, in my first 2 months in office, I promised to fill the gap between administration and the students' fraternity. I promised to bridge that missing marks, the challenges that we have on ground, like missing marks, and the course leaders' concern to be worked upon, and also to negotiate with the administration on how best we can put some lights, some street lights at spots around, and so the rate of crime tends to increase a bit in some months. So we have to put on ground there's lights at small gate and other things that I've told you earlier on. In the first 2 months of my office in town.
Is basing more on student values. That is the guild president to be coming under NUP. That will also base on the outcome of the ballots, which is going to take place in Mubs here. Maybe for the last time, maybe some words you want to say out to the student fraternity of Mubs and the entire campuses, not only Mubs but students out there. But also I would like to remind you, this is the Campus Magazine, where we bring you an up-to-date, we inspire, educate and entertain. Your final words to students out there.
Well, thank you so much. My dear students fraternity, a call for despair. The challenges we have right now, it should not be a call in vain, but a call to mobilize the support of the students fraternity, a call to rejuvenate fundamental guild leadership at Mubs, a call to unite Mubs regardless of our social, political and religious affiliations. It's the fraternity that will ensure the sustainability and the continuity of the guild fundamental leadership at Mubs. It is the fraternity that will stand the test of time. The fraternity will be nurtured with transparency. We hope to do more for the students fraternity. We hope to work hand in hand with the student leaders, the gearers, the custodians, to ensure effective service delivery to the students fraternity. Therefore, I urge you to work with us. I urge you to be united regardless of our background, socio-economic differences. We shall all come at once and restore the students' values as we journey in this academic progress. We shall all be winners at the end of the day. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best this academic semester. And also, don't forget, this is the restoration of the students' value, a new wave, a new political consensus, with a political alignment with the students' values. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We wish you also the best from the Campus Magazine. That's where most of our conversation has been dwelling around the guild politics here in Mubs. And also don't forget, we always move everywhere to bring you an up-to-date political, business or whatever. That's why you should always stay glued to the Campus Magazine. And also for those who are looking for some easy jobs, we can't promise you that we have jobs, but you can also encourage you to visit our web portal, that is www.thecampusmagazine.com, and get some employment opportunities which are always updated there after each other day, and also maybe other current affairs and politics, maybe entertainment and everything. I sign out. Menyata. See you in a moment.